How does the Hong Kong situation evolve from here? The political story in the United States is becoming more bellicose towards the Chinese and their attitude and the way they're handling the Hong Kong situation. How do the Chinese resolve this in a way that doesn't cause problems in Washington and doesn't cause problems in Beijing?
I think it's been very good the way the Chinese have handled it from Beijing. In other words, they've stepped back and say, look, this is a Hong Kong problem. Very interesting, now they're talking about possibly replacing Carrie with a new governor, which is probably a very good move. So they're taking it very slowly and trying to keep a hands-off approach. Really, that's the only thing they can do, because if they begin to get tough in Hong Kong, it'll be very bad politically in the U.S. So I think time will really heal these wounds as going forward. And also they're going to have to make adjustments in policies regarding Hong Kong.
With regards to some of those policies, obviously, you know, the Belt and Road Initiative, we gave a lot of lip service to that a while back. It seems like China has done a little bit better job of sort of, I guess, marketing that or at least obscuring it. I'm wondering, when you sort of branch out and you look at sort of the road that leads from China into, say, Africa and some of the nations there, is China's presence, have they reached a state where they're going to be so dominant that other nations, other superpowers like the U.S. or Europe, are just going to be completely squeezed out of some of those nations?
I don't think it's a matter of squeezing out other nations. I think what China is doing in Africa is really very good. The infrastructure they're building, the trade relations they're building. I was just talking to a company in Kenya that's going to be importing auto parts to assemble automobiles in that country. These are all very good developments. So I believe the pie will get larger. Of course, the percent of the U.S. and Europe in that pie will be less than it's been before. But the ultimate number, the absolute number, will be probably larger for the U.S. and Europe. So I think, generally speaking, what the Chinese are doing is very good for Africa and for other countries. Not only, if you look at what they're doing in Sri Lanka, for example, it's been very good.
Mm-hmm. When you look at some of those African nations, particularly some of those Western African nations, and the development of those economies, do you see them moving away soon enough or quick enough from just dependence on natural resources to more things that are a little bit more esoteric, things that are a little bit more technology focused?
Definitely, they're moving more towards developing their domestic consumer market, number one. And very interesting, they've been very good in opening up trade within the African continent, the free trade agreements among the various countries, which is an excellent move, because, as you know, some of the borders between these countries don't make sense at all. I mean, you have ethnically the same people on both sides of a border, and the border really shouldn't be there. So I think at the end of the day, the developments in that direction will be good. And of course, hey, there's no reason why the Africans can't produce terrific consumer goods. There's no reason why they can't produce great electronics, etc. This can all be done. It's just a matter of people moving in and building the factories. And the infrastructure is so important, which is why what the Chinese is doing is very, very good.